Welcome to Black Girl in CLE, the podcast. I am your host, Shayna Black, and in each episode, my special guest and I will talk about local events, the topic of access in Cleveland, and sometimes we'll just talk about some cool people who are doing cool things in the greater Cleveland area. I'll introduce you to this week's guest right after this. Hey everybody, welcome to the show. I am your host, Shayna Black, and today I have an awesome guest. I was going to say very special, but I feel like I always say very special. And so today, I'm super pumped about my guest. We go way back to like last week. His name is Kool. And first of all, say what's up.
What's up, y'all? Kool, JAYKOOL.
And he's an amazing producer. He's doing a documentary about Cleveland hip hop. So it's my two favorite things, Cleveland and hip hop. And so whether you're listening on this show of Black Girl in CLE podcast, you might catch it on 216 because, well, that show was about Cleveland hip hop. We'll figure it out. It's all good. We're going to have a great conversation, and we're just going to have a great conversation. So let me give you a little backstory about how I met Kool. I met you, first of all, you did a me, right? You came in very unnoticed. Like you said something like the food was good. Like I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, they fed us. Like we went to a function. I met you at a Fed function.
Yeah, so we went to a function. It was a common ground about hip hop. And he walked by and he says, "Oh, this food was good." And I'm like, okay, random guy, this food is good, right? And so then he asked a question. He stands up and the whole panel was like, "Oh my God, Kool, everybody should know him." But we were vibing, talking about catching the bus back in the day. Like he was my people. And then when they were like, stand up, I'm like, oh, like I felt like I didn't pay you homage. Like, oh my God, I'm just sitting here talking to you like, and you just the coolest. Too, yeah. And so I do that too. Like I just happen to come into a room. Sometimes I'm shy, so I don't come in like, yo, I'm Black Girl in CLE. I just kind of like blend in and then somebody says something. So I applaud that about you.
Thank you. You caught me blending.
Oh, I caught you blending.
I was blending.
So you're doing a documentary about Cleveland hip hop. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to ask the question in a way that folks won't get it, but folks get it. Like I'm not that I'm ignorant. I know a lot of people think Cleveland hip hop is Johnny O. If you know your history, you at least think Johnny O, right? Going back.
Just for the record,
no, there's more.
Go
ahead. MC Chill is a name you often hear, right? MC Brains, depending on your age, and I got a fun MC Brains fangirl story for you. And Bone, like. If you don't know hip-hop, you think that's pretty much it, and there was a station, 108 WDMT. Therefore, there is your story. But you're doing a whole documentary on that story, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Fill in the gaps. Like, what is Cleveland hip-hop?
I just want to go back to just the date, our meeting. We was in the function, and they was reminiscing, and y'all knew spots and knew the stuff. So that's how we was going back and forth. And I'm like, oh, man. They know they a part of this. So it was very exciting to see a crowd for the doc. And two, I shot the doc. I got into it because you're more versed than the average person. What you just said was still past what most people know.
Okay.
When you say Cleveland hip hop to the average person, if they not from here or like us, they gonna say Bone. That's it. Like it everything right started with Bone. And I'm like, y'all, we got a pretty decent history before Bone. Like, it's some stuff there, not to even include myself. Like, I was the first group to sign a record deal in Cleveland history. We signed the Profile in 1991. The roster was...
He just keeps getting better. Like, first, like, okay, keep going. I'm sorry.
The roster was Special Ed, Run DMC, Poor Righteous Teachers, Dana Dane. Actually talked to him, too, recently. And those people. So I came up under the MC Chill management.
Okay.
So a lot of times, and this is going back, this is even before we got to me shooting a doc, I always would be like, hey, man, we need to shoot a doc. You ever met Chill?
Oh, yeah. Chill's a friend.
And he tells great stories.
I love Chill.
So I'm listening to Chill stories all the time like, hey, man, we need to shoot a doc.
Yes.
I just said I'm an artist at the time. I'm still doing my thing. Just like y'all, we need to document this.
So if you haven't met MC Chill, first of all, Chill has one of those voices that you know. So I remember I saw him recently at like his office, and he's like, just walk down the hall. And I'm like, where am I going? Empty office. But I can hear his voice. and he's got a booming radio voice, and it's so, and I'm like, I hear him, and I'm just following his voice to find him. For those of you that went on our not our mural tour, our museum tour, you met Chill.
Yes, you did.
So we did an event co-sponsored with him and his nonprofit a couple years ago before COVID, and he walked us through the Egyptian gallery.
He's all about that life.
So versed.
He's all about that life.
Yes, and so every time I can work with or encounter Chill, like I'm for it. Yes. And I think I knew Chill as the person before I went back and remembered Chill as the artist. And another funny story that I often talk about on the 216 Jams podcast is that I had an uncle that grew up in Lee Harvard.
Yes, sir.
And so somewhere that's my grandma's house. So I'm always at grandma's house, just little tyke, 5, 6. But I'm in that culture watching Teenage Uncle, right? Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, hey, do you remember MC Chill? Man. And so then he goes into this whole, maybe they battled or rap. I don't know. But, he knew. And then I'm digging through stuff and records. I got so many records in my house.
Wow, records.
Oh, I do, yeah.
Okay.
And so it was from that. But I was always raised of Cleveland music. So not necessarily hip-hop, because hip-hop came to the stage. But from mom and them, music. But, yeah, so MC Chill is one that many don't know. Right?
Yes.
Who else don't we know?
And just to go, like I said, you're a little bit ahead of most of the people unless...
So let's get folks indoctrinated.
All right. So the next person I went to was Johnny O, of course. That's the Grand Wizard. Like, John, Chill, we need to shoot a doc. We should shoot a doc, y'all. Ain't nobody going, who know? And just for the record, I don't think many people can shoot a doc from here except the people I named.
Right.
Because to shoot a documentary, you have to have access to the people. Even at the event we was at the other day, I had talked to all those people, and he was trying to, how do I get more people? They're not easy to catch. And if they don't want to be caught, they're not going to be caught.
I said it's almost like, I said after the event, it was almost like Cleveland has unmasked superheroes just walking among us. Mm-hmm. So if you would have, you could walk past Johnny O and not know you're walking past DJ Johnny O.
Absolutely.
Right?
Very humble guy too.
Yeah, all of them. And, and so that's the fun thing about it, with the exception of maybe Bone. Bone. But also because they're on the more recent end.
Yeah. But, and they're mega. I mean, they would be, hell, I'm busy, so I know they got to be.
Yeah, if I walked in the store and saw Bone in the grocery store, I'd probably know that's Bone.
Small footnote, too. That's the only reason I was at that event, too.
Okay.
Because I was like, hey, I'm having trouble catching Crazy. I got Flesh.
Right.
But I'm like, Crazy was supposed to be there.
So it was meant to be, though.
Yeah, it was.
He wasn't, but I was, so it worked out.
Fine. Right. Here I is.
So let's walk us through where your on-ramp is. So when they come to the documentary, when the documentary is finished, do people have to have a knowledge of Cleveland hip-hop? Do they have to know who they are, or can they just start with, I know Bone, and you're going to take them on the journey?
They're definitely going on the journey, and it won't start with Bone, but it will have Bone in it. And I can tell you, too, when I first started this, I thought it was going to be a one thing, but we had some talks with, give him a shout-out, Harry Davis, that shot Gangstresses.
Okay.
He told us that we had a wonderful idea and that it can't be one. Nobody even wants to see one. And during the pandemic, people are running out of TV to watch. You'll burn through a series in a weekend.
Yep.
The whole season 1, 2, 3.
I mean, yeah.
And it's 9 in each one. So
at least.
Yeah, right.
But you're just up all night I got to finish my show.
And once we start filming, we realize it's no way we could put this in a hour and 15 minutes.
Okay, so we're moving toward a docu-series.
Absolutely docu-series.
Okay. I didn't know if we were thinking a long-term, 2-hour movie. Okay.
Nope, it'll be a docu-series. It'll be, because there's no way to go from the beginning to the end. So, during the editing process, we just edit straight through. If we got 9 hours of the film, we break it into 9 one-hour groups.
So, from the event, we talked about, the years, chronologically, when you start thinking about hip-hop. And Johnny O started talking about hip-hop in the 70s. Mm-hmm. And to me, I was born in the 70s, so I have no realm of hip-hop in the 70s because, I was a baby. But, what are some of those early moments, if you want to share? Where do people talk about, what neighborhood started feeling hip-hop first?
For us, I'm a 70s baby, too. Whoop, whoop.
Yay.
for everybody, it had to start in 79, flat
Okay.
out. Sugar Hill. That's
Right.
when Sugar Hill kind of came in. And for us in the doc, man, I'm giving up some secrets here. For us in the doc, you got to go with the original pioneers, and they was at Kent.
Okay.
So it kind of it has a Kent flavor to it. And then everybody, like y'all, the people in the know from the Cleveland, if I ask you about early Cleveland hip hop, you're going to say WDMT.
Yep.
That's your reference point. It wasn't a hood. It was that radio station
Right.
where they took the street jocks and it went out to the city.
Yep.
So Dean Rufus gets a
Yes.
super shout out for being, I don't know, did you know he was white?
No.
How about that? He was Michael McDonald before the time.
Nice.
Like just listening to his voice, I didn't know either. And it doesn't matter.
Right.
But I was like, oh man, he white. Okay, sweet.
That makes it doper.
It does make it doper because
Before third base.
how about that? This is before everything. This dude is the gatekeeper, has to be, because he was the radio programmer, and this was a new music. And WDMT was the first station to say, hey,
Yes.
we're going to play hip hop. We're going to play this new
play
music.
rap.
And we're going to have this WDMT club style show. And I'm going to bring the hottest DJs from the club. And I'm going to call Cochise from Kent, who I hear doing something different. I don't know what that is, but I'm going to let him on.
Yep.
And that was just epic. Like that whole thing. And I need you to come on in and interview Dean, please and thank you.
Yes. So let me tell you, as every time we go down this road, I think it's like Cleveland's golden age of music.
Absolutely.
Because yes, we're going down hip hop, we're talking about hip hop, but you also got to remember that even on the R&B tip for the older people that weren't feeling rap, you're still in that space of OJ's turning Levert. And so no matter what, there was just a pride of Cleveland. I can see you just like giddy with it. Like there's a pride of Cleveland music. And I remember after we left, I remember driving home and I kept thinking, we were so dope that, remember when 93 had the artist like re-sing the lyrics to put 93 in the words? Like instead of station IDs, like everybody had a station ID, but it would be like full force change their whole lyric to incorporate Cleveland or 93 FM or 108 and like Cleveland just was alive. There's certain moments where you just feel the energy of the city.
Just for the record too, just dropping some more jewels on you. A lot of that stuff happened because of Lynn Tolliver.
Yes.
And now I'm thinking back retro. I'm not the guy I am now that I was then. Like I was younger and everything, finance changed. But Lynn Tolliver, a lot of stuff in this city happened because of him. Like I'm talking about all the deals, Levert, everything that happened was because Lynn Tolliver was the top radio programmer in the nation for like 6 years straight, from like 84 to 90 or 82 to 88 or something. It was some ridiculous number. So like for like the record company is like, hey, sure, we'll give Minute Large a deal. Sure, we'll give Gerald a deal. Sure, we'll send Full Force in there to re-sing the song to put the lyrics in there. A lot of stuff was predicated because Lynn was here. And I didn't know it at the time. And just to throw it out there, somebody was supposed to do the Dame Dash and the Jay-Z to him and drop the bag on him. And we could have been in a whole different situation.
Wow. And even with that, I didn't realize until maybe 10 years ago how amazing our music scene was, because when I was in college, I interned at Sony here in Cleveland. And so when I tell people and then I was at Independence. And so, Rockside, the Cleveland Clinic Band.
Rockside,
And so the idea of, we had a Sony Music here. And this was before the Rock Hall. So it wasn't, the Rock Hall, it makes sense. But because on 77 was the throughway down to Camelot headquarters in Canton, right? If you remember Camelot Music Records.
You are very versed, young lady. Very good.
Yes. And 77 straight downtown to 93 when it was still on 2510 St. Clair. And so, like, being in that space, I met so many amazing people. But then I tell people, like, when I interned at Sony, you lived in New York? Well, no, I didn't. I did it all right here. And everybody, back to that superpower, like Lynn Tolliver, he was just a host that came on. No. Kevin Chilius. He was just, right? And so
Fred
that's
the
what,
Jammer.
Yes, Johnny O was just a radio DJ. And so I'm loving finding out those stories, and I'm hoping your documentary touches on that.
Absolutely. Yeah. The tagline for the documentary is "Our impact is bigger than our image."
Yes.
Because they kind of like what's happening in Cleveland. Like, you'll be surprised. All this. Lynn Tolliver was like, I was like McDonald's to the nation. If I sold a McRib, they all sold a McRib. If I played a record, they all played it off the rip. Didn't even really listen to it. Like,
right.
It came from Cleveland. Like, they sent it to Cleveland first.
And so I just recently, like, I've been really digging into this. I feel like I'm on 216 Jam, so I don't know where this podcast is going to air. Just bear with me. Digging into this, and just the thought of learning about the Belkins and the old concert tickets that, like, you know, even to know how the Belkins came to be here in this space, and the parallel and the throughway of that, of we were a music hub, rock, rap, or R&B.
And like, throw in Al Heyman.
Yes. And so looking at the parallels of, we were that structure, like, you know, the Lynn Tollivers, Ticketmasters, like, that started here, and we don't get enough credit. And and one of the guys in the thing said, at Friday, they take from us. Like, they're mining Cleveland, and then they say, oh, that's that East Coast, West Coast. Yeah. And so I hope your documentary does a little bit of that. I see you writing notes. What are you writing? What do you have to say?
No, I'm actually writing notes of what you're saying, because you're very versed. I didn't look into the Belkins. I looked into Al Heyman.
I got a book in there.
And I forgot, and I forgot that they did do Ticketmaster and a lot of that stuff.
And that's why Live Nation is still based here.
Yeah, right. So, yeah, I was just, that's what I'm writing notes on.
You got to see that documentary.
But, yeah, we will definitely be touching on all of that in the doc, because it is, nobody's ever did it. That's why I'm actually appreciative for you guys, because a lot of times, to me, I feel, being a Clevelander, a lot of people is going to be like, I ain't in that doc, it ain't nothing.
Right.
But
or, like, man, they ain't doing nothing. I mean, like,
I was there.
I was there when Brains was in third grade. Like, right. I get that.
So, yeah. So, my thing I want everybody to have the pride in, just like you bringing up all this stuff, is to put that in a doc. And I'm not making a YouTube special. I'm trying to get something on Netflix or Revolt TV or something like that. So when a kid in Indiana or San Diego or San Antonio watch the doc, it's like, oh, man, that came from Cleveland?
Yep.
That's Cleveland?
Yeah, I don't like that we always seem like we're one-offs. Like, oh, we just happen to have Machine Gun Kelly. Like, he just so happened to be born. No, we have a history.
Yeah.
Like, we've been doing it. Oh, Brains just happened to burst through. Like,
yeah, Brains' story was actually excellent.
So I interviewed Silver B.
I do got to get to Silver B.
Silver B is my heart. I interviewed him, and I still go sit on his show every once in a while.
I cussed one time.
Did you?
Yeah, and that.
Yeah, that ended that.
Yeah. It did.
But that's Silver B was saying one of those stories like Chill's voice. He was someplace odd, you know, like we were, and I heard him talking. I'm like, you're somebody. I think I actually said that to, like, who are you? For real. Like, who are you, Superman? Like, what is this superhero thing? And then he says, I'm the voice of. And I was like, Silver B in the mix. Right. What's up, Silver B? And so, you know, all of these people, he's telling me like how he was there. And it's such a great story to realize that we were all part of that journey. And I think that's what I came out of Friday's conversation with when we started talking about Lee Harvard and Randall Park Mall. And even if you weren't a hip hop head at the time, or even if you thought rap was lame, you probably walked through that Randall Park Mall battle.
Head to head.
You know, you probably like these kids or whatever your thought process was.
Go walk around here.
No, let's not be near that stuff. Yeah. Right. But you were there, you know, getting your Christmas shopping and watching these teenagers do this hip hop thing, whatever that is. But to realize you were watching history be made.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you something funny, too, to even kind of segue, too. It got to be a Cleveland thing, because I'll probably watch every doc that comes out probably the last 5 years. And you can watch like a New York doc or Cali, or the Wu-Tang one got me. They had videotape of arguments. Who does that? Like, they had in their doc
all time.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, if me and you was arguing on some Cleveland stuff, if me and you was arguing and she was recording, we would beat her up and continue arguing.
Yep.
Like, Cleveland's like, we wasn't camera like, hey, I'm videotaping. It wasn't
We're
like
never
that
way.
Yeah, so.
I mean, that's who we are as a city.
Yes.
You know, there's a whole sociology of Cleveland life. Just, that's what I like what I do, because you get this snapshot of pieces of who we are as a people
Yes.
in this wonderful space. And so
Yes.
that's why sometimes we don't see how wonderful we are because of our sociology of how we operate in this wonderful space.
Very well said. That.
I'm trying to sound smart today. So. But yeah, and it's that like those conversations about, I don't think it was Sano saying like going down and walking down miles. We all walk down miles mentally. And when he said, I walked down first, you got to the motorcycle. I had forgotten the motorcycle spot.
Yeah.
But I knew it was coming like Miles Drive-In.
Yeah.
Like I think I was hurt.
Yeah,
Miles
Value
Drive-In
City,
went,
all
Value
that, yeah.
City. And he says, you got to stop at Value City. And I'm like, you do have
Stole
to stop.
my first shorts for the talent show out of Value City and won the talent show. And didn't have enough. Matter of fact, I stole the shorts and didn't have time to steal a shirt. So me and my friends went out in just shorts and no shirt, no socks, no shoes, and won the talent
There you go,
show.
banging on the table. See? I told you he was
My
going to do
bad.
that. I told you he was going to do that. So, yeah, or I remember walking to Value, like the first time I walked to Value City from St. Henry, because we used to play ball at St. Henry.
Absolutely.
And after, that's a kind of a long walk, but you cutting
did
through the
say
woods
too.
and all
I
that
was
kind of
like,
stuff.
Ooh, she's special.
Yeah. I don't even know why I was
Young.
over there.
We was young.
And just had no place. Nobody was looking for us.
It
We
was
was outside.
nothing.
Yeah. But I remember Value City, I don't know where we were going.
Pre-Uber.
Yeah. Value City was the first stop. You had the bathrooms because you go in the store and use the bathroom. But
See.
Value City always had something cool going on. And we all walked down that. And I left and said, oh my gosh, we had this whole thing where he just talked about walking down miles. People were like, he mentioned Land Rock. He mentioned this. Don't forget the corner of. I said, but it's that moment that we all remember, like 80, 90, 86, 87-ish.
That got me pretty excited too,
Yeah.
just for the record. I left out of there like, damn, y'all. That's why I got the interview with Brothers for the Struggle yesterday. I was like, let me get back on my job. Y'all all clapped when they showed them. I was like, I got their number. I'm about to call them.
Right now.
But
Yeah, that's
just
how I was like, you'll be on the show right now.
Just
we're
the
kicking
whole
it back off.
vibe of that event when people was just clapping, and the one guy, John, said he DJ'd at Youngstown State. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm from Youngstown. That's what I'm talking about. I'm like,
and I didn't see that coming at all from that dude.
you know what I'm saying? The whole room caught me. Y'all, everybody caught me off guard. I was so inspired. I was like, okay, I'm about to
There's a
get
hip hop,
this
there's a
cracking.
music culture that's, I think, inbred in Clevelanders.
Yeah.
But we don't realize it's there.
And back to the videotape thing. I'm telling you, a lot of people didn't videotape. Like we didn't. There's very little footage of videos from like the 80s and early 90s.
And you didn't keep it. Like even if you had a cassette tape, we all cassette taped over, rapping to 93 or whatever that is. But at some point we just like this stupid and tossed it. Or lost it, or re-recorded over it, because now we've grown a little bit and we want to record love songs.
It's in that box in the storage or something.
So that's a perfect point, because I know that you're looking for some more artifacts, and I believe that my audience has pieces of those artifacts.
Do you?
I think so. So you mentioned that you were looking for pictures, like ticket stubs.
I tell y'all what.
What you looking for?
I am looking for anything that you have of Cleveland hip hop history. Footage is golden, but I've been looking, like I said, I've been on this case for about 5 years. Footage is very hard to get, come by. But stuff like, I talked to Johnny O. Johnny O has 0. If you got any footage, pictures, Johnny O meets the Wizard, all those mixes, the interview they did, stuff like that. There's no pictures of the Plush. There's no pictures of the Spectrum, Beckman Hall, the Q5, the Sheik. I'll give you a copy.
I know
of
the
this too.
Sheik.
Yes, nobody stood. I talked to the owner of the Sheik. Kenny used to own it, and I was like, "You didn't step outside your club and take a picture and say I own this?" Like,
no. I wonder what it looks like on the inside.
Well, you can see that through research on Telejam. Telejam was shot in the Sheik. That's the inside of the Sheik.
Well, I mean, even now, like.
Well, yeah, I'm not sure.
Some of those places that are still standing.
And it's been, and it's still standing. I think it's been several different clubs since then also. WDMT. I found one picture there, but nobody stood outside there and videotaped or anything. Dean Rufus. Mike Chapman, interviewed him. He was like, I don't have no pictures of none of my studios.
I think they do. They just don't want to share. Like,
No, they're serious.
They got some secret stuff going on.
No, and I run into a couple people like that, and I don't understand that either. Like, if you want to keep it to yourself, and I don't want to take it from you. I just need to take a picture or videotape it. But for you to just have it, like I'm the only one that got this Fresh Fest ticket, and I'm going to die with it.
But you know what, though?
Nobody's going to know I got it.
I think that goes to the point of we didn't even see value. It was just every day. Mm-hmm. You know, like when you think it's like a grocery receipt, like, oh, I went to this thing.
Yeah.
Like I remember thinking,
correct.
I saw Wu-Tang at the Civic Center in Cleveland Heights. I'm still just blown away that I saw Wu-Tang. It wasn't Wu-Tang. It was Method Man, Redman at the Civic Center in Cleveland Heights. You know, like, how did that even come to be? But to me, I just was at another concert. Like, I might have it somewhere. I keep a lot of mine, but it's just that thought of to the next concert, every Turkey Jam.
Yeah, Turkey Jam tickets. If y'all got Turkey Jam
anniversary
tickets,
party, you know.
Yeah, stuff like that. Mike Chapman Studios, Buchanan's. No picture. Nobody took a picture of Buchanan's. No video or stuff. All the studios, great tracks, real tracks, time tracks. How about this? Nobody even took a picture of the reasons why. Putting it out there.
You see my face? Like I don't,
y'all prove me wrong.
I don't feel like somebody's got a picture. I don't feel like I understand that. I feel like my family maybe took a picture and they're like,
those are cool, but those are kind of indescript. Like us at the little wall there.
Like if they outside, like
if they outside,
then
those are golden.
Okay.
Find those.
Ticket stubs work.
Yeah, ticket stubs is cool. Any kind of Ranger graffiti. Nice. Any pictures of Ranger, Nomad, somebody brought his name up. Any of those. Breakdance footage. I know we was breakdancing back then in the 80s. No breakdance footage. Cochise said he had nothing. It would be great to show him DJing a party. Freeze!
Defrost.
A defrost.
And I have that on vinyl.
That's what I'm saying.
I have that on vinyl.
I do have that. But just like footage or anything of Cochise, MC Chill. The only footage we have of Chill is the footage that they shot in New York of him. That Ralph McDaniel shot at the Fever reunion. That's accessible to anybody, but
that's crazy.
Anything around here, nope. How about this? Bud McFarlane. No videos of Bud McFarlane, line dancing, nothing out here. Anything like that. Bud DJing. Interviewed the brothers for the struggle yesterday. They like, we don't got nothing. Like they did so many shows. Nobody videotaped them at a Shaw reunion. They perform every year at the Shaw reunion, and nobody has videotaped it. Myself, Catch 22, I actually didn't have anything. My partners had everything. I even had a profile jacket that's somewhere in Texas with some chick. Right. That dude, because like you said at the time, like, oh, this ain't nothing. I ain't even on this label no more. I'm about to get another deal. Right. I'm about to be bigger. I was actually living with Outkast at the time, too.
Okay.
Any kind of the dance footage, the Step Off crew, the Hula Boys, you know what I'm saying? Any of that Miss Ross talent show stuff, all of that is needed.
All right.
And that's
so. How do we get that to you?
You would send it. You can contact the show. You, since we're on here, you can go to. You can email it to clevelandhiphopdoc@gmail. That's ClevelandHiphopDoc@gmail.com, or just contact me. DM me. I'm jcool216 on Twitter and YouTube, and jcool44108 at Instagram and Facebook. That's JAYKOOL.
So we'll put it in the show notes. We'll do a button so that people can email you from our website. So that way, because you don't want to do all that. That's a lot of work for me.
Right.
But yeah, if you have those kind of things, pictures of the outside, like I feel like I've seen pictures of the reason why, because you know,
come on,
I've been over there enough.
Right.
The question is, where are those photos? But I want to take a shift because let's go back into the neighborhoods. I watched the trailer for the documentary, and we'll put that also in the show link so people can check it out. And the first thing I noticed was the neighborhoods.
Okay.
You know, Collinwood, Lee Harvard, Miles, West Side. And even from Friday, I was surprised because I didn't think about the West Side in hip-hop culture. Mm-hmm. So tell us how they, because I'm an East Side person.
I am too.
So tell us the role they played or where they step in for folks that don't know.
For the homework that I'm doing too, and Brains got me too, if when you watch the trailer, I forgot Union. And Union has a very strong presence. Like all them Brains, Scratchmaster L, Bud, Pac-Man, all those cats are from Union. My bad.
Shout out to Union.
You're right. Shout out to Union.
We love you.
Right. We do love you. I'm East Sider. I definitely use Union.
Absolutely.
I was on Union today. But the West Side, from what I was interviewing, a lot of the West Side played a major part in the breakdance graffiti part of it. Not so much the rapping, because that's chill and all of us on the East Side. But like when you watch Big Chuck and Houlihan, when they used to have breaking on there, those was West Side cats.
Wow.
The graffiti, Sano went into a very big history of the West Side. Those were all West Side cats. The only East Side cats was Sano and like Suave and his crew. But all the rest, all his idols, those Danny Rodriguez and all those people he was naming, all West Siders. Yeah. So they definitely played a part. And when we was coming up, a lot of the clubs was on the West Side. You know, Candy's, Escape, the Excalibur, I forget the club on West 25th. It was used to be something. But the West Side is definitely a part of the Cleveland history. And just me dating back from being from Cleveland my whole life, I would never not include the West Side.
Oh, no.
A lot of people do that. You from here, like you either deal with
you east
either
or you west. Right.
Yeah, but busing helped me.
Yes.
I got busted to Marshall. And was like, oh my God,
so
they just like us.
Because you got bused to Marshall, I can tell you where you live. Like I know what neighborhood you grew up in. That's the beauty of busing, maybe. I don't want to say it that way, but
beauty of busing also, when I got busted to Marshall, it was me, it was Suave, it was Kool TLC, it was Sano, it was Pratt. And I'm forgetting somebody. We was all in the school at the same time.
Wow.
So I was like, oh, man, they brought us all together like that.
Yeah, and the bus ride, y'all bond.
Oh, my God, yes.
You know what I mean?
The bus ride, yeah. That's
just
epic.
on the bus together. Everybody, most people understand. On the bus together, I don't care what school you went to, if you only 2 blocks away. That bus ride is always
to the West
epic.
Side, right.
And y'all went to the West Side and mixed and melded. And I think that's what we forget about Cleveland. Like, as much as we're isolated East Side and West Side, there's always another piece of the puzzle over there.
I love it. I'm once they busted me there in the 80s, I was like, I will never not deal with half the city. If you only deal with half the city, if you just a East Sider or West Sider, you live in Des Moines, Iowa or something. Like you're cheating yourself of half. And
I feel like we've gotten back into that don't leave your neighborhood. That's kind of how Black Girls started. People didn't want to leave their neighborhood. So if you in Shaker, you stay in Shaker and Cleveland Heights. If you in Lakewood, you stay in Lakewood.
Yeah, right. Nope.
And there's a whole amazing city out here.
You
just got to cross that bridge.
I'm with cross that bridge.
Either one.
Either one.
Cross the river. It's fine.
East or west.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful thing. But even the talk of the red line, when we were talking about it, I was like, I wish we could find some of those old tagged red line cars.
Now, call out for the red line tag calls, y'all. I'm telling you.
RTA?
Yeah, RTA, like nobody.
Because that's an artifact. Again, we didn't value it because it's just like, oh, I was just sketching something.
And I tell you something funny. I've been on the case for a minute, went to the library. I've been to Step Out Magazine, Horizon, all the publications. Now, the Horizon, or it's definitely the Step Out Magazine got it. Talked to them, though, and they was like, well, I got it, but it's in this room and it's all filled with negatives, unmarked. It ain't digital. And
so I told somebody, I'm like, can I just dig through your negatives one day? Because I was doing a book project at the time.
I haven't got there because I look like, man, I'm already doing a lot. But yeah, those options are there. You're the second person who said that. Shani Sean said it, and you was like, I'll go through the negative. I'm like, man.
I mean, I'll probably hate saying I would do it. But the idea is, you can't lose that gold. It's like a room of gold.
It is.
And I heard Roland Martin say one day, he was speaking about just Black photography and how we're losing it. And folks are like selling their pictures to Getty, and then we have to buy it back. And so like people like you named the magazines would be like, Getty would be like, oh, we'll pay you $10,000 for that. And they're like, I don't care, you want these negatives. And then we've lost them.
So check out, you're right. One of them, I can't remember exactly. I think it's the Step Out guy said he wasn't going to do that and he was starting his own museum.
Nice.
So he was like, that way I don't get caught on that part. But I was like, man, how long that's going to take?
Yeah.
I can go.
Can we help now? Yeah. Sign us up. Because we even talked about, when the African American Museum opened with the Smithsonian, people were sending stuff. Like, I got artifacts for the museum. And so some of those photos people were sending to the Smithsonian. But if you think about it, they only put out maybe a third of what they got. So the rest of that stuff we're sending is in storage somewhere. And then here we are like, well, I want a picture of veils or, whatever. And we don't have a picture of veils.
And actually, when I went to the library too, they said that they didn't have much. It was unmarked. I went through it. But I asked her, like, how come all these other cities have this document? You can go right to the library in New York or something and get this. She was like, in New York and all these other cities, people will go out, film, and just turn it over to the library.
That's dope.
Like, hey, I actually did that after our riots. I had got that information
nice.
Right before, a little bit before Cleveland had the riots. So the day after, I went out and filmed all the destruction that was like people need to do this.
I have those pictures too.
Yeah, I actually got some extensive footage. I was like, I'm going to turn it over to the library so they can.
Because I didn't know you could. Because we went and walked from here all the way to Public Square.
Yep.
And it was Ghost Town right after. And so
we
have that footage.
Too, I probably saw you too because it was a bunch of people downtown.
If you could get downtown, because I was hoping, could you get into downtown? And we did. But I didn't know you could do that. Like, that would be perfect because I've gone to the library and there's plenty, and it's a information gap. Like, there's pictures from the 30s, pictures from the 40s, pictures from the 50s, 60s, Dr. King at the churches.
Big gap.
And then nothing.
Oh, you really look, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and then it's nothing. And you're like, anything happened in the 80s? No. Like, it's just like we weren't here.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
And so what I'm hoping from this show is that for those of you listening, like, you guys have photos. Like, if you're like me, and hopefully you are, you have a box of photos from your disposable camera, or when we had those little cameras that had to, like, drop the film off at the mall, you still have a picture with your bestie or your ticket stub or that note you wrote that guy who became this great artist. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's the stuff that could be useful here. So you remember going to Vails. Like, all I wanted was to be
no pictures of Vails, y'all. Prove me wrong. There are no pictures of Vails. Nobody stood outside of Vails for crying out loud and took a picture. It's an electrical grid now.
Yes. Or the Millennium.
No pictures of the Millennium, y'all. Nobody stood outside the Millennium and took a picture.
Yeah. And so all of that is, like, you guys have those pictures. Y'all did the cute pose, with your girlfriends.
Going up in that attic or that
the
garage.
Quarter Century Club, or you went to the Turkey Jam.
The Togo.
Yes. Well, you going to take that
it's
picture now.
It's still standing, so I could get the Togo.
I would go get that picture now, though. Just the way things is rolling. Tomorrow we'd be like, wasn't there something here? What was here yesterday? Oh,
you are correct.
So go get that picture today. I mean, I'm thinking about the geocache phenomenon. People go out and they find little tokens, and like, we almost need to just be like, hey, it's like a scavenger hunt.
For real, it is. It totally is for me. And also the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame reached out to me.
Nice.
While in the process of shooting this, and was like, hey, we wanted to do what you was doing, but obviously we didn't know the people you knew. And I had a conversation with him where I was like, hey, how is the Rock Hall going to be in Cleveland and y'all have zero Cleveland stuff? Like, that's wrong. Y'all right in the backyard. And this is a whole different discussion because I don't even think rappers should go in the Rock Hall. But since they are, and you're in my city, we should have something there.
Mm-hmm.
And they like, you're right. We'll archive y'all stuff. Get it. I was like, they had a little display of like Devo, the electric pop sign, as big as this table. About this big. Wow. And I'm like, yo, I got more stuff than this at home for hip hop. You know what I'm saying? I got a profile jacket, Johnny O, all his stuff. You know what I'm saying? Just, I got it. And they was like, okay, well, you're right.
Yeah.
And we'll mess with you.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, like I said, we have it. And like, even my uncle that used to DJ, like he was DJ the DJ out of Lee Harvard. And so, like, I remember going with him and those speakers, like, he still somewhat has his setup downstairs, but some of those, that's why we have records.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom would tell a story of leaving JFK at her lunch break, because, had the longer lunches, and going over to the record store over there at Lee Harvard and buying the new records on Tuesday. So, she never got rid of a single record.
And Bev.
Yes. And so she never got rid of any of the records. So now I have all the records. And so within all that, who they knew and the people, we still have that. And I think about, like, what came up in the conversation, I think Sano said it, was he mentioned Vincent Valentine, the muralist, right? Vincent went to school with us. And I'm like, I have probably some of his original sketches because, he just a guy, oh, that's cute guy, here, whatever, just as he's working through stuff. And he did like our class T-shirts. And so the idea is like, I don't know if I have my shirt or not, because it might have been like, I'm not a senior no more. Let's toss this. And now you throwing away Picasso's.
Yeah. Chill actually knows Basquiat. Because he was in New York with Chill, like doing what you saying. Like everybody was looking like, hey, that's a little weird.
Just doodling a little bit, and all of a sudden, like weird. That would have been $1 million piece.
Like I wish I'd have known.
Yeah, so I think some of us still have that because, you just have that sentimental value. Like, that was just me and my girls at the Miles Drive-In. But you have that picture. Like, we need that picture.
I am super guilty of this, too, because I even did that in, like, senior as a high school. I'm like, I'm out of school. I don't need that yearbook. I don't need the little book to show what we was wearing or who I was dating back then or none of that.
I don't want to see that, girl.
Yeah, like, I'm done. Y'all like, why y'all crying? We about to graduate. It's on and popping. Get your life right. I wish, like, I had that now. Like, to see, like, hey, I was wearing Coca-Cola jeans back then, or, you know what I'm saying, or whatever it was. I was like, I really, like, now I'm like, can you retro order a yearbook?
Yes.
So, hold on to those memories, y'all.
And if you got them, let us know.
Yeah,
because
please.
we definitely want to include it in the upcoming documentary. So the documentary is on YouTube, and they can look up. We'll put the link in there.
The trailer is on YouTube.
Sorry, yes, the trailer.
Because I'm on a mission not to shoot a YouTube special as far as the doc goes. It has to be a professional. I want to see that doc in Cleveland-BGM. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, man, damn. So the trailer is available on YouTube. You could just look up Cleveland Hip Hop Doc and rock that out. The email address is there. If you find any footage or anything like that, please feel free to send it in. And thank you. I love you in advance if you got it.
So final question. From doing this documentary, what is your memory or favorite moment or favorite piece of a story? You might have known it without giving away too much, but like it was a club you found out about that you forgot, and you're like, that's the thing right there. Like, what is that for you?
Nope. You know what the best thing about the doc is? The camaraderie when we do the interviews. Like to see Brothers for the Struggle all together again.
Wow.
Like the love to be in the room. I've interviewed like Cochise Quick and Johnny O at the same time. And for them to just sit there like, oh man, this is awesome. So yeah, just the actual thing of doing it and going through the memories, just like the other day of Friday, the actual when it comes together and the people in between is the greatest pleasure at this point.
For the younger folks that came in, I know I said that's my last question. For the younger folks that came in after that moment, what are they going to get out of it? Like, there's a lot of folks that totally missed that. Like, they don't even know that there was a Randall Park Mall.
Right, and that's why we got to shoot a series too. But it's for education.
Okay.
You got to know your past to move to the future. You know, like everybody didn't know this about Cleveland at all. Like it's a lot of people don't know Chill was the first rapper.
Sign.
He's all that stuff. So, and that is definitely an issue. One of the first thing I thought about is that kind of like the young people don't care about history. You know, I got 2 younger kids. Like, hey man, when was that? Okay.
Right. Or hip hop starts with bone.
Yeah, like, right. Like, don't kill that dream of me. Like, right. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's definitely to educate them and to kind of, like I said, to get us on the map. I'm pissed that we have 0. Like, there's no Cleveland history. And like I told y'all the other day, I was really pissed when I watched Hip Hop Evolution. And y'all
skipped right over
Y'all went to every city. I was not happy. And I'm telling you.
I know the episode where I was like, and Cleveland goes here.
Yes.
And then they were like,
Cleveland goes before Detroit. I know that. I was like, Detroit.
Like, now we're going to go over to the West Coast and talk about, Digital Underground. I'm like.
Yeah. We cousins, because I'm telling you, that's what it did. And I want to say...
I think I stopped it to look to see if I missed an episode. Like,
I want to say that came out in 2017.
Then they went down to, like, Houston? Not knocking Houston, my
but
favorite getaway city.
We was before Houston. We put Houston people on. Come on, man, cut it out.
E40, the fast... Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
We're going to do this later.
Yeah, so, yeah. I want to say that came out in 2017. Mm-hmm. It's about when I started this. I'm telling you, that anger, my mama...
So, let me tell you, 216 Jam started right after that, too. Because 216 Jam's tagline is, yeah, Cleveland rocks, but the 216 Jams, too.
Yeah.
Like, we, and mine was about the same time... See, now we just got the show going on. It's about the same time Chuck D came. And that's
Chuck
the first
loves
time...
Cleveland,
yes,
too.
and that's the first time I had met Johnny O in person.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, like actually...
And him and Chuck is friends.
Yes, and he said that. And... he was telling this story about how Cleveland, broke him. And we all know, like, Arsenio, they changed the game. He brought, we have these nuggets of where Cleveland hits national. Mm-hmm. And everybody...
One-offs. You hit it on the nose. I stole that.
And we know people come and say, well, if you can make it in Cleveland, like, we all know that. But we don't think about the why. If you can make it in Cleveland, it's a one-off. If you can make it in Cleveland, you'll be great. And the artists knew that, and we hear it. That's why we get all these great acts. But... it's because we are Cleveland. Like, I won't start swearing. Like, we Cleveland.
Right.
Don't you understand how amazing we are? And so it's into that moment. And yes, you're going to come back to the show as often as you like. You're totally welcomed here. And I can't wait. I'm going to share out the doc trailer in our on our website so that people can watch it. We can put it in our newsletter. We'll do the call for photos. Guys, if you got artifacts, if you've got a jacket, if you got your airbrush jacket, you sitting at Randall Park Mall.
Yep.
Outside coning.
Yep. That was Dante Airbrush. He's a part of the history too. So if you do have a jacket like that, yes, please.
Yeah.
Some memorabilia.
Or like I remember having the letters. Like I wanted the name on the side of the hats.
Yeah, or you went to Boston Shirt Yard and got that Playboy bunny with the bent ear and put your name on the back.
Yeah, so if you got those things or pictures of you in those things, like let us know, reach out. And today my guest was Kool. He's doing an amazing documentary that is coming out on Cleveland hip hop. You definitely want to check it out. Check out the trailer. And I just can't say thank you enough. I'm so glad I met you.
Yeah, we cousins now too. Yeah, you are Superverse. I love y'all.
So you didn't see that coming, did you?
I didn't. I'm telling you, not even that. Just girls in the back of the event. And like I said, we started off kind of like, hey, I remember that was on the 15. And you was naming the stuff going up miles. I'm like,
because that stop was epic. Because you think about all the bus stops. Let's go Randall Park Mall. If y'all want to turn off, y'all can turn off. We might even edit this out. But when you think about those spaces, that bus stop, it was where Kaufman's came in. So it didn't come in Warrensville Center Road where the 41 correct. Comes in.
It was beehaving right there.
Yep. It had that spot where the 15, the 19, there's a bunch of 15s. There's the 15A, the 15F, the 15.
Yeah. Stay off the A. It went a weird way down Corlett.
Yeah, like I was off by then. Right. But you still had to get on the right one. Like, but it was that whole thing of that hub. And there was never no beef, though. Mm-mm. Like, you would think, nowadays, you bring in, like, the 1 and the 3 at the same time, you're going to have a fight.
You from Cleveland.
And I used to teach, so. And I know about fighting on the bus. But at that time, like, the best thing you had was, like, a rap battle. But it was all love, like, oh, that's you? Oh, that's a 19. All right, girl. Like, and y'all met.
And like Suave would say, you could get on the 19, but it's like it's happening on the 15. You want to get on that 15.
I never get on the 19.
That's what I'm saying. I had to get to 19. I was on Wofford, so it would take me straight to Wofford. But I was like, man, let me get on this 15 so I could ride with Suave, Surge, and all them cats so we can rap down the street on the bus. Like, and just get back on the other side and come back down.
Get down to Lee and you can all make it, hit that 40 and go wherever you want to go.
Right.
Good old transfer.
Yeah.
Them paper transfers.
So, yeah.
So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining us. We're going to stop this show. We'll probably keep talking offline, but thank you for listening, and we'll check you out next time. Take care, guys. Say bye.
Deuces.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Black Girl in CLE, the podcast. Please check us out online at www.blackgirlincle.com and like and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at blackgirlincle. This podcast was recorded in Cleveland, Ohio, with post-production by the talented interns at Black Girl Media. Copyright 2019. All rights reserved and retained by Black Girl Media, LLC. Talk to you next time.